season of the team that's all bites, your Garland Hoyas. We are so happy to have you joining us this afternoon to cheer on your Hoyas at the Martin Luther King Jr. Center here in Dallas, Texas for this Lone Star State Saturday Matinee Showdown as your Garland Hoyas play host to the visiting San Antonio Kings. My name is Ken Buckner. On behalf of the Hoyas, NEBA, the players, and the coaches, we wish you a very happy holiday season and invite you to enjoy today's basketball contest both responsibly and respectfully. We invite you to support your Hoyas all through this inaugural season and secure your tickets for upcoming games at the website with all bites, garlandhoyas.com.
Oh, okay. What happened? It went off? 0, 3, 4, 11. Like that, man. Alright. 0, 3, 4. Now, did the other one close in the back? I'm waiting on them. Hey, you got this one too? Where the other one is? Number 11.
You want to help me with positions?
Yeah.
Devin, point.
Point guard. Nichols is the shooting guard. Smith is the small forward. Smith. Small forward. Clinton is the power forward. Clifford is the center.
Thank you. All right, 10. Well, welcome to a Saturday matinee showdown here in the Lone Star State today. NEBA is about to be underway for the New Era Basketball Association in Dallas, Texas. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ken Buckner. Going to be taking you through the NEBA action today as the #1 ranked Garland Hoyas, undefeated 2-0 on the season, play host the #4 ranked 0-1 on the season, San Antonio Kings. We bring it to you live here from the Martin Luther King Jr. Center in Dallas, Texas, in the Fair Park area, just a little bit east of downtown Dallas and right by Fair Park, which, of course, Big Tex is not standing today, but that is where the State Fair of Texas happened, and we are just under the shadow of the giant Texas Star iconic Ferris wheel. It is going to be a spinner of a day today, certainly with these two teams, as Garland, the only undefeated team left left in the NEBA League comes in ranked number 1, top of the standings. They played a very tough first game against the Memphis Lions, winning that one late. They blew out 2 Fridays ago the Austin Knights, 131-103. Many people are still asking at this point, this brand new season, this brand new franchise, in their inaugural season, are the Garland Hoyas for real? Well, they had the chance at the beginning of the season, obviously, to write their own story any which way they wanted to. So far, it has been a story of perfection. That is a story certainly the San Antonio Kings would like to change. We now get you ready as tip-off is just moments away and get you down for the pre-game festivities. We take you down to the court and public address announcer, well, myself, Ken Buckner. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to today's NEBA game, this Lone Star State Showdown, and the visiting San Antonio Kings against your Garland Hoyas. So happy you could be a part of the action today here at the Martin Luther King Jr. Center. We would like to thank the facilities, and the staff today for being such great hosts here in Dallas, Texas for this NEBA contest. My name is Ken Buckner, your PA announcer. Of course, you can watch today's game and any previous games at officialneba.com, garlandhoyas.com, and on YouTube as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you at this time to please rise, remove your hats as we honor America. Please welcome Kyrian Murphy in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, now it is time for your starting lineups. First, here are the starting 5 for the visiting San Antonio Kings. At point guard, number 11, Devin Moore. At shooting guard, out of St. Francis College, number 1, Travis Nichols. At small forward, number 8, Demario Smith. At power forward, number 23, Sean Clinton. At center, number 33, Joseph Clifford. The head coach of the San Antonio Kings is William Manning. And now, with all bites, here are your Garland Hoyas! At point guard, at 6'1" out of South Garland High School, number 4, Rydell Shorter. At shooting guard, at 6 foot, out of the University of Auburn at Montgomery, number 0, LaShawn Murphy. At small forward, at 6'7", out of East Texas Baptist University, lucky number 7, Melvin Allen. At power forward, at 6'6", out of Wiley College, and the big man in the middle at center at 6. Well, pregame festivities have concluded. It is time for NEBA basketball here in the Lone Star State. The Kings wearing their road whites with black and white trim. Stripe of red down the side as LaDarren Williams for the Hoyas gets ready to take the tip-off against Joseph Clifford. And it goes straight to the Hoyas, and we are underway here at Dallas, Texas. LaShawn Murphy right off the bat. Finger rolls it in on the board. The first points of the game go to the Garland Hoyas. Got a scrum at the center court area, and it goes back. Rydell Shorter takes it to the point. Looks for LaShawn Murphy, who's all alone along the baseline underneath to Jarvis Bradley. He misses it, gets tipped back to San Antonio. Tries it on the fast break. Intercepted by Melvin Elliott from behind 3. Right off the front of the rim. Tip in by LaShawn Murphy. First 30 seconds have been an eventful one here. Garland Hoyas up 4-0 to San Antonio. San Antonio now trying to slow it down. Full court defense right now from the Garland Hoyas. That leaves a man open underneath. Shooting foul along the baseline. Clifford will go to the line. Clifford, not a shooting foul. He goes from behind the arc. Their center taking a shot from the corner, and he does not make it. Goes back to Garland as Shorter attempts to slow it down a little bit, tries to drive the lane, holds up, looks from back. Melvin Allen all alone in the corner, sinks it 3. Garland is on a run with 1 minute down here in the first quarter, up 7-0. San Antonio back with the ball, traveling around. Demario Smith to the corner. Kicks it back out from behind the arc. San Antonio trying to get something. Bad shot. Got the backboard, didn't get the rim. LaShawn Murphy taking it up to the near side. Garland wearing their home black uniforms with a camo striped effect across the back. Red day glow numbers right now as they go right to left. The San Antonio Kings rather go right to left. Back on offense. Tries to drive the lane. Shorter is there. Kicks it out to Clifford. The big man air ball. Didn't even get the backboard on that. Boy, they cannot buy a basket with 8:08 now remaining here in the first quarter. It has been all Garland so far. Rydell Shorter tries to drive the lane. Has nowhere to go. Is closed off. Looking for help. Pass it to the big man underneath. Jarvis Bradley. Double team. And he gets the foul. A frantic start, but the Garland Hoyas now off to a 7-0 lead. 7:56 here remaining in the first quarter. San Antonio just flat out cannot buy a bucket at the present time. Jarvis Bradley has not missed from the free throw line so far in the 2 games this season. He will shoot 1 of 2. He continues the streak of perfection right there. Trying to make this a 9-0 game to start off. This is what got San Antonio in trouble a week ago so much against the Memphis Lions. At one point in that game, they were down by 30. They ended up closing the gap, but still had a pretty tough loss against the Memphis Lions. A common opponent between these two teams. Jarvis Bradley, 2 of 2 from the line. It is 9-0, 7:56 remaining here in the first quarter. San Antonio right now having a hard time getting it across the stripe. They do. Drives to the lane, but he decides better of it. LaShawn Murphy tries for the steal, does not get it, kicks it to the corner, out to the wing, inside the arc, off the back iron. They get their own rebound. San Antonio right now not getting an open shot, but they do have a slight mismatch. From the top of the key, goes over the backboard, doesn't take it stick. Clifford, a stuff by LaShawn Bradley on a block. Check that, LaShawn Murphy. But they end up getting their first points of the game. Clifford, the big guy. Jarvis Bradley wide open, tries to bank it, doesn't make it happen. Clifford with the rebound. Drives it down the lane. All ball for Jarvis Bradley on that stuff. LaShawn Murphy tries a low-look pass. LaDarren Williams does end up picking it up. Rydell Shorter slows it down a little bit. Spins around on the baseline underneath. Gets a miss, and it's going to be off the hands of LaDarren Williams. San Antonio gets possession. 6:51 remaining here in the first. 9-2 Garland lead. Head coach Paul Parker sticking with that full court defense right now. They make it across the stripe. Kicked it to the wing. He's going to take the shot. Off the front of the rim. No good on that. LaShawn Murphy ends up getting the tip rebound. Kicks it out to Rydell Shorter, who's open from inside the arc. Oh, just skirts across the top of the basket. Long court pass. Trying to make something happen behind the back. Pretty no-look pass. Underneath, cannot convert it. Well, San Antonio's getting the looks, getting the shots. They're just not making them count with 6:05 remaining here in the first. Garland Hoyas 9-2 advantage over the San Antonio Kings. Rydell Shorter going to slow things down a little bit. First patience we've seen in the game from anybody. And why not? Melvin Allen wide open. A rare miss from him. And we got a jump ball. LaDarren Williams right now a distinct height advantage for the Garland Hoyas, and we have a sub as Clifford goes out. Jump shots for the Garland Hoyas necessarily haven't went their way in the two games so far in the season, but they haven't had the height that LaDarren Williams has had. Tip up, not even contested. Goes to Melvin Allen. Underneath to Jarvis Bradley. He's in the post. He's got the double team, and he's got the foul. Foul on number 23, Sean Clinton. And that'll send Jarvis Bradley back to the line to shoot two more charity stripe. 5:41 remaining here in the first quarter. 9-2 Garland lead. Off to a 7-0 start to begin the game. Still perfect from the line. That is why you practice your free throws, especially if you're a big man that plays the post. Adds two more to it, 11-2. Back to a 9-point advantage. 5:39 and ticking here in the first. San Antonio now on their charge. Pulls it up, stop and pop, cannot get it in. There must be saran wrap over that goal right now for the Kings. Kicks it out to LaShawn Murphy, goes to the baseline. Pretty pass underneath the Williams. Knocked out of his hands. Garland Hoyas remain possession. Shorter will inbound the ball. Passes out to Melvin Allen beyond the stripe. Takes a shot. Shot does not count. I believe he stepped out of bounds. And San Antonio is going to get a gift. They need one now, down by 9, 5:15 remaining here in the first. Attacking down the lane. Behind the arc, they're going to call that a traveling. Traveling on Clinton. The basketball gods giveth, they taketh away. We've even the ledger on that one. Garland ball. Shorter will take it back up. Shorter getting his first start of the season. He has been an assist machine for the Garland Hoyas so far. So far, 10 assists on the season. Add 3 steals to that ledger. Is San Antonio right now pretty behind the back. They make it stick. And returning the favors, Melvin Allen, who remains with much poise, keeps Jarvis Bradley on the steal. Athleticism from the big man. I believe it's a San Antonio foul on the whistle. San Antonio foul. The ref tandem of Cato Armstrong, Kent Booz, and Emmanuel Luell, not quite as whistle happy as we've seen. I'm not saying that they didn't have it warranted, certainly the two teams, but third game into the season, a little more poise. This is the second game on the season for the San Antonio Kings. They did get throttled after losing to Memphis 107-91. Again, as I said, San Antonio at that time was down by 30 at one point. They did rally late. They have said the team that you did see in the fourth quarter is the team they truly are. And they also went a step further, saying that the Garland Hoyas win over the Austin Knights was, I believe the word they used was fluke. So, a little message board, social media, bulletin board material has been flying between these two teams a little bit. So, a nice little I-35 rivalry going on here as the Texas Triangle, as we have seen, between the Garland Hoyas, the San Antonio Kings, and the Austin Knights have been heating up. Timeout taken on the floor right here as we pause on the Garland Hoyas radio network. So happy that you are joining us today, whether you're watching at officialneba.com, garlandhoyas.com, or of course you can find these on NETV, coming up soon on Netflix and on YouTube, certainly if you search. Which, by the way, if you're on YouTube, you've got to search from last week's game how LaShawn Murphy, number 0 of the Garland Hoyas, ended the half. A Michael Jordan-esque dunk that had everybody's jaws on the hardwood. It was an amazing, amazing dunk to end the half. Got a San Antonio defensive foul as they creep a little further towards the bonus. 13-4, 4:27 remaining here in the first quarter. Garland Hoyas still maintaining that advantage. LaShawn Murphy on the wing, walks right. Pass underneath to Melvin Allen. They're going to call it jump ball. Melvin Allen going to use that height of his, standing at 6'7". That is a lofty shooting guard. Second jump ball of the game. And it goes to the Hoyas as well. Shorter picks it up, kicks it out to LaShawn Murphy. Looks underneath the Jarvis Bradley, who's just getting manhandled. And they call a travel on it. He wanted a call. He didn't get it. 4:07 remaining here in the first. 13-4, Garland Hoyas leading the San Antonio Kings. From the far wing, passes it to the point. Attacking left, pulls it up. Just a no-look, nothing hit shot. But they get the ball back. San Antonio gets the steal. Good transition there. That worked earlier for him. Didn't work right there. Again, his second steal of the game so far. Foul called from away from the play. Are they going to give him the points? There's a pushing foul. No, they do not give him the basket. Away from the play, pushing foul on Jarvis Bradley. That's his first. And we're going to get some subs into the game for both teams. Brett Person comes in for the Garland Hoyas in place of Melvin Allen, who's already seen his first three-pointer of the game. I was talking to Melvin before the contest. He is 85% from beyond the arc so far this season. Granted, we're 2 games in, but he is lights out right now. So Person comes in for Allen. San Antonio with the ball. Fakes left, goes underneath. Gets the foul, shooting foul. San Antonio goes to the line, and they will take 2 from the charity stripe. Sean Clinton, the 6'5", 215 power forward, will take his first of 2 and try to narrow this margin a little bit that Garland has put on them. In and out. No good on the first. Doesn't get any easier for the San Antonio Kings as they travel to play number 2 ranked Austin tomorrow. He makes 1 out of that from the charity stripe. LaShawn Murphy, a pop and stop right there. 3:18 remaining. Garland Hoyas 15-4 advantage. Beautiful bounce pass, hard drive to the lane, and they're going to call the foul on the Hoyas. I believe they're going to call it Darren Williams. F5. Yeah, F5, right? Yeah. Oh. 6. Word from the officials. Kent Booz, the official here for NEBA. That previous foul, Jarvis Bradley, the pushing foul, they are counting the basket for San Antonio. As he sinks his first from the line. So now 15-7. Garland lead here with 3:08 remaining in the first quarter and 1 left to shoot. Jesus Torres. Oh, that one just hangs on the rim and doesn't go in. The Darren Williams over to Person. And they're calling out of bounds on Brett Person. And San Antonio getting a little shift of momentum here. .259 remaining here in the first quarter. 15-7, Garland Hoyas lead. DeMario Smith over to Jesus Torres. Torres trying to walk it up. Gets a double team. Give and go to get it across the center line. And right down the lane, charging, and he goes in. Dominic Guzman showing some hops today. Brett Person almost had it picked from his pocket. Ends up getting it back. Jarvis Bradley off the bank. Out of nowhere, Darren Williams flies in. They cannot get the offensive rebound. 2:25 remaining. Guzman kicks it out. Travis Nichols driving up. Looks to the corner. Torres driving underneath. Jarvis Bradley there on defense. That was enough. Does not make it in for the Kings. DeAndre Sanchez traveling from left to right. Walks it back under. Hands it to Bradley on the double team. Sanchez left alone. Passes it underneath to LaDarren Williams. Off a couple of hands, fingertips, and it's going to remain Garland Hoyas' ball. Sanchez inbounds it. Person back to Sanchez on the left wing. Tries to throw it. It is taken away by DeMario Smith. That's his 3rd steal so far of the game. Travis Nichols kicks it out to Torres. Back to Smith. That one's short. Gets his own rebound. Nobody from the Hoyas was there to take it. Guzman from way deep off the back of the rim. They just keep getting their own, but they cannot make a pass. Sanchez taking it down. Travels it all the way, almost makes it to the and one, but he at least gets the foul for the Hoyas. He'll go to the stripe to shoot 2. Foul on Travis Nichols, the 6'3" guard out of St. Francis College in New York. The Terriers, which if you're going to pick a mascot, I've actually known some Terriers that's pretty fearsome. I'll take a Hoya over a Terrier, but still. Little dogs are the ones you got to worry about. As Sanchez makes his first. Sanchez so far on the season has not, like Jarvis Bradley, missed from the line. Perfection so far at 100% from the charity stripe. And he keeps that streak going as well. 17-9 advantage to the Hoyas with 1:18 and counting left in the first. Trouble across the line. They get it back. Brett Person slams it down. Oh, yeah! 1:06 left here. 21-9. Garland Hoyas so far 12-point advantage, their largest advantage of the game. Going to call that a kickball on LaShawn Murphy. Hoyas stepping up their defense. This is what works so well right off the bat. And note, we saw this kind of transpiring here in the first game as the Garland Hoyas had kept it close to the Memphis Lions all game long, but could not get a lead until the third quarter. What ultimately ended up giving them the advantage, or at least slowing the Memphis Lions down, was their full court press. And they've since, head coach Paul Parker, have employed that in every game so far, doing that in this game, and it's worked just like it did 2 Fridays ago against the Austin Knights. As Person takes a long shot from behind the arc and can't make it stick, goes out of bounds. It'll be Hoyas' ball. 40 seconds remaining here in the first. 21-9, Garland Hoyas. Sanchez over to Bradley. Back to Sanchez. He takes a shot from the free throw stripe, and that is good. 38 seconds here and counting. Brett Person with the steal. Right back. Clifford gets it. LaShawn Murphy says, "No, sir, that's mine." Hangs up for an eternity and just floats it in. 27 seconds remaining here. And it is a timeout by the San Antonio Kings. 22nd timeout with only 27 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. And it has been all bite for all Hoyas. 25-9 as we sit. Alonzo Butler, his first action of the game. You've got Sanchez, Murphy, Person, Butler, and Bradley on the floor for the Hoyas. "25 seconds and ticking right now." They get it across the center stripe. San Antonio Kings across the left wing, attacking left. Double team right there. Great defense by Sanchez. He goes down, but he's going to earn a call. Pushing on DeAndre Sanchez. He takes objection to that one, but I don't think that's going to show up in court. Just keep it on the court. Although I think he'd have a case with the right attorney. 12 seconds remaining here in the first. Underneath to the Kings. It is tipped by Person. Takes a shot from the corner. It's short. LaShawn Murphy with his rebound. He's going to take it. 2 seconds remaining. Walks it in. And right before the buzzer, the Hoyas extend their lead right now into the first quarter, 27-9 over the San Antonio Kings. More from the MLK Junior Center here in Dallas, Texas. The Garland Hoyas, a sizable advantage right now at the end of the first on the San Antonio Kings. More coming up on the Garland Hoyas Broadcast Network. Make plans to be here at our next Hoyas home game as Garland takes on interstate competition once again when the San Antonio Kings return Saturday, January 23rd. Secure your seats now at garlandhoyas.com. Let him hear it to start off the second quarter. Here for your Hoyas. Back underway for the second quarter here as San Antonio will start with the possession. Garland 27-9 lead over the San Antonio Kings right now. As San Antonio had quite the stern talking to in the brief break in between quarters. They work it from the wing back to the point. Setting the pick, rolls right, nothing there to drive the lane. Alonzo Butler with the call. And that will be his first on the game. Spins around, works it out, nothing underneath. They keep trying to go underneath and no luck whatsoever from behind the shot. Thinks about it, does take it from behind the arc, their first three-pointer of the game. 27-11, Garland Hoyas lead with 9:10 remaining here in the first half. LaShawn Murphy getting the double team. Cooks it over to Jarvis Bradley, who just gets plastered every single time he is given the ball. Takes it in his stride, and he'll score the points or go to the stripe either way. Cinches can't make it stick. Jarvis Bradley back, cannot make it go. Brett Person says, sure, I'll go ahead and take a shot. Misses badly, air ball for that. Goes out of bounds, San Antonio Kings. .8:45 remaining here in the second quarter, 27-11 rather, Garland Hoyas over the Kings. It'll be Kings ball. That full court defense right now trying to slow down the Kings. Making the passes, though. They may have figured that out. There is that pass and that floating look once again. You do have to hand it to Guzman for the Kings. He can hang up there. In for his first minutes of the season is the Frenchman for the Garland Hoyas, number 12, Ousmane Ndiaye. The center, 6'11", 230, out of Jean d'Arc, France. Yes, I said France. It's the Kings right now starting to get a little thing going here. Another three-pointer for Torres. 8:01 ticking. 27-15 here in the second quarter. Inside to Person. From the free throw line. Off the back iron, it rolls off. Loose ball foul on Garland. Foul's going to go on Person. And that'll give the ball right back to the Kings. Kings trying to swing things their way right now. They've trimmed the lead to 12. Trying to drive down the lane. Can't make it stick from behind the arc. Far wing cross-court pass. Torres kicks it back to Guzman. Back over to Nichols. Underneath across the baseline to Clifton. LaShawn Murphy pops it up volleyball style to DeAndre Sanchez. Tries to make the pass back to LaShawn Murphy, but gets fouled before he does that. Are they going to consider that in the act of shooting? They are not. Almost. If I was Sanchez, I would have made a bigger play on that. Saying I was shooting. That was a shooting act. He would have been wrong, but it's not worth trying. LaShawn Murphy taking a breather. Alonzo Butler back to the bench. Michael Blaylock into the game for the Hoyas. As Kevin Thomas Sr. finds his first minutes of the game. Starter in game one, Kevin Thomas. Sanchez loses the ball. And the bounce pass, did not connect for the San Antonio Kings. Goes off a shoe, a leg, and into the stands. It'll be Garland ball. Into the game for the Garland Hoyas, in for number 3, DeAndre Sanchez. Number 55, the point guard out of the University of Oregon. 6'4", 200. We're talking Bruce Barron right now, who has it and kicks it out to the corner. Thomas takes it around. Good defense by the Kings. Loses the handle on the ball. And it goes San Antonio's way. Taking it up the floor. Kicks it to the wing. Short on the three-pointer. Blaylock takes it up to the right side. Now along the baseline. Over to Person. Can't get a handle on it. Back to San Antonio. 6:31 remaining. 27-15. Garland Hoyas. A block by Bruce Barron. That 6'4" frame goes up. I believe the foul was called on the way down. San Antonio getting some subs. And it's going to be a timeout for the Garland Hoyas. Head coach Paul Parker taking a bit of timeout. 12-point advantage right now, 6:27 remaining here in the first half. 27-15. Garland has led from the opening tip-off. You know, there was some chatter going on. I'm going to maybe call it smack talk, not necessarily saying who it was from or who I read it from, but I did read it online in a couple of social media sites saying that, is this Garland Hoyas team for real? Is their 2-0 record just because they haven't traveled yet? I mean, they're a brand new franchise, inaugural season. Nobody knew what to expect from them in the first place. So are they for real? Austin saying, hey, that 131-103 loss to the Hoyas, that was a fluke. Memphis, 96-91, that was a hard-fought win, but we have better in us. Well, the Garland Hoyas right now showing with a 12-point advantage. They may be for real, ladies and gentlemen. As we are back to playing here after the timeout. San Antonio ball. Forces them out to midcourt. Blaylock on the defense. And that one goes out of bounds on the missed pass. Seeing his first minutes of the game, it's the Manster, number 39, Trevor Connor, who has been a great spark off the bench for the Hoyas in their first two games this season. It goes to Connor, back to Blaylock, all the way across to Thomas, who takes it from behind three. Cannot get it. The Frenchman, Ousmane Ndiaye, goes up, gets a hand on it. And that 6'8" frame of his. But he could not pull it in. And speaking of, Ousmane gets his first foul called of the game. Ousmane Ndiaye, which I had to practice with Ousmane himself before the game, actually listed at 6'11", 230. A charging foul on San Antonio. And foul on Clifford. And it's going to go back to the Hoyas. We're stuck at 27-15 right now. 5:40 remaining here in the first half. Ball inbound to Behrens. Gives it over to Thomas. Shoots it out to the corner to Blaylock. Is going to shoot it from three. It is short. Connor with the rebound, and he puts it in. His first points of the game, 29-15. 5:25 remaining. Garland Hoyas lead the Kings. Sticky defense by Thomas. Rolls off his foot, goes the way of Bruce Barron and the Hoyas, lays it in. An easy 2 points for the Hoyas, 31-15 advantage. 5:03 and ticking here in the second quarter. Punches the ball away, Michael Blaylock gets it to Barron, right back to Blaylock. He holds it, stutters it, it's in. The bench right now making their bite felt by the Hoyas. The Garland Hoyas, too, they boast the deepest roster in all of NEBA. 15 players reported on their roster. We actually added to that. Got a full foul on Bruce Barron there. And that'll let us take a step aside here as we sit 33-15 right now. 4:35 remaining here in the first half. We are live. NEBA basketball from Dallas, Texas. The Garland Hoyas lead the San Antonio Kings. More in a minute coming up on the Garland Hoyas Broadcast Network. Scores, highlights, exciting news of the NEBA International Tour, and creation of the new WNEBA, the Women's New Era Basketball Association. Find it all at the official online home of NEBA, officialneba.com and GarlandHoyas.com. Back at it here from the MLK Center in Dallas, Texas. 4:35 remaining here in the first half. Garland Hoyas 33-15 lead over San Antonio Kings. San Antonio cannot just get any footing in this game whatsoever. It has been excellent defense from the Garland Hoyas right there. Ooh, and a hard foul as Guzman goes down. We've seen some really pretty moves by Dominic Guzman, the 5'11", 170 guard. And he'll go to the stripe for two. Some pretty turnaround off the glass, behind the back looks. He's been a whiz with the ball so far. Just not enough as he does sink his first one. Guzman makes his second, 2 of 2. Now San Antonio trying to do a little bit of full court press. Goes to Connor, underneath to Ndaye. It does not connect. Goes off the hands of Guzman. So the ball will go to Bruce Barron and the Garland Hoyas with 4:20 remaining here in the second. 33-17 Hoyas lead. Kicks it out to Thomas. Bruce Barron from the corner, off the front of the rim, can't connect. Guzman takes it up the near side. Attacks right, kicks it out to the wing. Smith backs it up to midcourt. Over to Clinton. Devin Moore to Guzman. And there he is, Guzman, doing some damage from the paint once again. He is a quick player. Pass by Barron over the head of Connor. 3:45 left in the second. 33-19 Garland Hoyas. Smith walks it up. Over to Moore. Back to Guzman. Guzman takes the shot himself from behind and he sinks. Turnover by the Hoyas right there, and that went from breaking bad to just ugly there. Foul on Bruce Barron. Having to hear some calming words from Kevin Thomas. And that'll send Clinton to the line to shoot two. Correction, the and one makes that a three-point play. 33-24. 9-point advantage. Kings have trimmed it. As Blaylock misses. And that foul is going to be on Clinton. Correction, that is going to be on Jesus Torres for the San Antonio Kings. That'll send Barron to the line to shoot two. 3:12 remaining here in the first half. Nothing but nets on his first of two. Barron, like a few of his teammates, been perfect from the charity stripe so far in this 2015 winter stretch of the NEBA League season. Oh, I must have jinxed him. Misses the second, 3:12 and counting. 35-24. Off the fingertips of Blaylock. That's going to go to the Kings. as Jarvis Bradley and LaShawn Murphy come back in, and for Ndaye and Connor. Guzman in the corner all alone. Skirts off the top of the rim, does not go. To Blaylock. Banks it off the glass, and the foul. No! My, excuse me. I'm not the only one that thought that was an and one opportunity. They call traveling on Michael Blaylock. Not the most popular call here at the MLK Center today. As we see head coach Paul Parker doing a little river dancing over there. Not too happy with that call. But we move on, because river dancing, that puts you in a good mood, right? No. There's nothing about river dancing that anybody was ever put in a good mood. 2:50 remaining here in the first. 10-point advantage. Kings have narrowed it, 34-24. Working along the baseline underneath. He just moved right around Jarvis Bradley on that. And LaShawn Murphy takes it up. Across the stripe. Keeping the ball, kicks it to Thomas from behind the arc. Off the top, Blaylock tries to go up for the rebound, cannot make it stick. Loose ball foul. Call on Kevin Thomas in the transition. If there is one Achilles heel that we've seen so far for the Garland Hoyas, it has been a propensity to get into foul trouble. They lived most of their life in the bonus last week against the Austin Knights, though it ultimately did not hurt them in the final tally. It did give them quite a bit more than they needed to handle to continue the game. As we take a timeout here from the MLK Center in Dallas, 2:16 remaining here in the first half, 34-26, 8-point advantage. San Antonio Kings have made it closer against the Garland Hoyas. You're listening to NEBA Action and watching it here on the many avenues you have a chance to watch it on any TV, on YouTube, officialneba.com, garlandhoyas.com. More coming up in just a moment on the Garland Hoyas Broadcast Network. Back here in Dallas, Texas, with 2:15 remaining here in the first half, 34-26. Garland Hoyas' advantage over the San Antonio Kings has been trimmed in the recent history. You just saw one of the reasons why. Guzman underneath and in the paint, and recently from behind the arc. He's done it on all points of the field, the court rather. Great defense by Bradley underneath, forces the shot away. And great defense from Thomas, who tries to get the tip ball. Playing some volleyball there, and it does cause a traveling for the San Antonio Kings call on Torres. That was some stellar defense from Kevin Thomas. $1:43 remaining here in the second quarter. 34-26, Garland Hoyas still maintain the advantage they've had all game long, but it is a narrower gap. As LaDarren Williams comes back into the game, kicks it out to Barron from the corner. Thomas misses. Jarvis Bradley with the rebound. He tries to get it underneath, throws up a prayer, gets the foul. Foul on number 33, the 6'8 center, listed at 240. Joseph Clifford sends Jarvis Bradley back to the line. And he'll shoot two. Bradley so far has not missed a free throw all season long. Okay, I'm going to stop saying that. He misses his first free throw of the young season with 1:23 remaining. 35-26, Garland Hoyas, as Guzman underneath tries to float one in, cannot get it to stick. Bruce Barron with the rebound. Barron taking it up the far side. Loses the handle on it, tries to get it to Bradley. It goes out of bounds with 1:10 remaining here left in the second quarter. Goes back to San Antonio. San Antonio from the wing. Kicks it out under. Takes the shot. Pretty shot and makes it stick, but they left LaShawn Murphy all alone. Lays it in. Under a minute here remaining in Dallas, Texas. 37-28 Garland Hoyas over the Kings. The whistle blows. San Antonio wanted the shooting foul. Blocking foul on Jarvis Bradley. They will not go to the charity stripe. 46 seconds remaining. Sends up a prayer. Good defense by LaDarren Williams. He had that one covered. Clifford went ahead with it. All alone, Thomas off the front of the rim. Clifford gets the rebound to Smith. 31 seconds remaining here in the first half. 37-28. Kings have certainly made it closer in this latter half of the first half. Along the baseline. Pushing foul on Bradley. Thought he may have stepped out of bounds. If he did, he apparently had assistance. And that puts Garland in the bonus. So Clinton will go to the line. "15 seconds remaining. Makes the first count. (37-29). Trying to make this a 7-point game, which would be the closest it has been since pretty much the opening minute of the first quarter. In and out, does not make it stick. 13 seconds and counting remaining here in the first half. LaShawn Murphy getting the double team, loses the handle on the ball. Gets fouled on the way up. Sean Clinton will go to the line to shoot two. That was going to be a surefire dunk. That could be considered a good foul, because that was going to be at 2 points anyway. We'll call it a good foul now because he just missed his first with 3 seconds remaining. Makes the second one. That makes it a 7-point game. Barron looking for the long yard pass. Gets it to LaDarren Williams in 2 seconds. Jarvis Bradley underneath. As time ticks, he gets the foul. He'll shoot two from the line. What a heads-up play. Great passing by Barron to Williams to Jarvis Bradley. They're going to put some time back on the clock, I believe. As all alone, they will not actually. So this will be it for the first half. Jarvis Bradley makes both of them. 39-30. And that will do it for the end of the first half. 39-30, the Garland Hoyas lead over the San Antonio Kings. We'll take a timeout for halftime, be back with the second half action from Dallas, Texas. You are listening on the Garland Hoyas Radio Network. Well, we welcome you back to Dallas, Texas, as NEBA action getting back underway here for the second half. The Garland Hoyas and the San Antonio Kings, they go into the intermission. Garland Hoyas up by 9, 39-30. They had as much as a 16-point advantage during 1 point in the game. But the San Antonio Kings have found their way to the charity stripe, found their stroke from behind the arc, and even some nifty moves in the paint, too, to draw it within 9. As the Garland Hoyas, I did walk past head coach Paul Parker in the hallway. I wouldn't say he was grimacing, but it wasn't the look of bliss that maybe we saw after the first half 2 Fridays ago when they played the Austin Knights in that victory. So the Garland Hoyas certainly have a fight, a bigger fight than we may have thought in the first quarter, on their hands against the San Antonio Kings as we get ready here for the second half. You know, noticeably absent, we haven't mentioned it yet, but number 21, Steve Johunkin, who was so vital in that game against Austin, scored 21 straight consecutive points in the third quarter. He is not a part of the roster today for the Garland Hoyas. It didn't seem to affect their scoring as we are now underway. Garland ball. Rydell Shorter back on the court, has not seen action since the first quarter, and he walks it back up. Over to Melvin Allen on the wing. Kicks it over to LaShawn Murphy, who goes along the baseline. Underneath LaDarren Williams. Pretty pass, pretty stroke. That one goes in. Garland Hoyas the first on the board here in the second half. 43-30, 9:35 here in the youthful parts of the second half. Just underway. San Antonio driving down the lane unopposed. Gets their first points and basket of the second half. LaShawn Murphy, cross court to Melvin Allen, left alone from behind the arc. That went in and out. LaDarren Williams with the rebound, can't make it stick. Jarvis Bradley the same. He wanted a foul on it. Didn't get it. Guzman underneath. Tosses up a prayer, ends up getting the foul. Foul on number Melvin Allen. That'll send Guzman to the line to shoot 2. That was one of the things that made it a little closer of a contest there towards the end of the first half, was the Kings getting the Hoyas into foul trouble. As we mentioned before, the Austin Knights lived most of the life in the bonus, as the Hoyas were in foul trouble throughout most of the game 2 Fridays ago. Still scoring a 131-103 win against Austin. A little more salty of a competition right now against the Kings. Out of bounds. Garland maintains possession. 8:58 remaining here in the third. Over to Murphy. Looking for Shorter. Gets it over to Shorter. Drives the lane. Off to Bradley. And they're going to call that a blocking foul. Foul on number 14, Jesus Torres, who has a couple of three-pointers to his credit so far in the game. Garland will inbound to Allen, underneath to Jarvis Bradley. Over to LaShawn Murphy. Floats it pretty in and out. Jarvis Bradley with the rebound, and he makes it stick. Showing up on the offensive rebound boards there. Bradley so far the team leader in rebounds, 22 coming into this game. Aaron pass by Rydell Shorter. That one goes out of bounds. Kings get the ball, 45-35, 10-point advantage for the Hoyas, 8:23 remaining here in the third quarter. We welcome you back to Dallas, Texas, however you may be enjoying this NEBA game, as Clinton sinks a 3. They'll count that 2. He had his foot on the stripe. Catch these NEBA games of your Garland Hoyas at garlandhoyas.com, officialneba.com, and of course on the Garland Hoyas YouTube channel as well. Later on in the season, and the New Era television channel, NETV, and Netflix, you could be able to catch some of the NEBA action. Guzman underneath along the baseline. Correction to Torres. Now to Guzman, and Melvin Allen was there saying, "No, sir." Tipping it out of bounds. It'll still be Kings ball. 7:39 remaining here in the third. 47-37. Garland Hoyas lead. Smith looking for the play to develop. Guzman from the wing, back to Smith at the point. Stutter step, takes a shot from the elbow, doesn't make it count. LaShawn Murphy with a rebound. It's going to be a timeout on San Antonio. LaShawn Murphy there with his rebound. Correction, an official timeout. Literally, Rydell Shorter in mop-up duty at this point. A little early here in the third quarter for mop-up duty. But some court maintenance underway. 7:15 remaining here in the third quarter. As I was saying, coming into tonight's game, LaShawn Murphy had 9 boards. 5 of those offensive rebounds. He's shown up in all parts of the game. It's Melvin Allen getting the double team right now. They're having a hard time getting it across the center stripe. Turns it over. A stuff by LaDarren Williams. And he was set. That's a charge. Charge on the San Antonio Kings and Guzman. And that'll give the ball right back to Garland. Cross court pass to Melvin Allen. He's going to wait for his teammates to show up. Back to Murphy. Rydell Shorter on the right wing. Behind the back, pretty pass to LaShawn Murphy. And gets the foul. He'll go to the line for 2. Foul on number 23, Sean Clinton. It's going to be LaShawn Murphy's first appearance at the charity stripe. And he makes the first one. Trying to extend the advantage to 12. And he does. 49-37, 6:45 remaining here in the third quarter. Garland Hoyas with the lead. They have not trailed in this game. San Antonio has brought it within single digits. LaShawn Murphy just scoring 2 there from the free throw line. Tied with the team lead with the absent today, Steve Joe Hunkin. Just over 15 points a game. San Antonio, Guzman hits a floater. 49-39. 6:11 here. Jarvis Bradley gets it knocked away from Clinton. Calling all ball on that. Bradley wants a foul, not putting too much of an objection up. LaDarren Williams inbounds it to Jarvis Bradley. Earns the double team, kicks it out to Shorter. Shorter going to set up the play. Walks it out to center court. Ooh, shifty move, attacking left along the baseline right now. He needs help behind the back. Turnover to Guzman. And they've got a 3-on-2 right now. Clinton. Melvin Allen got his hand up in front of it. Guzman pretty much wide open for the offensive rebound. And the long pass does not go where it was intended for Jarvis Bradley. Straight out of bounds. .531 remaining here in the third quarter. 49-41. They've cut the lead to 8. Guzman passes it out. Ooh. It's going to be a foul on Melvin Allen. He picks up his second. .526 and counting in the third quarter. 49-41 Garland Hoyas trying to hold on to this advantage which they've enjoyed all game long. Inside pass to Guzman, stuffed by LaDarren Williams. Head coach Paul Parker calls Williams the best defender along with Deandre Sanchez on the team, a lockdown defender. And we did see it 2 Fridays ago against the Austin Knights. Damon Griswold, their best player, was held to 17 points, far below Damon Griswold's average for the Austin Knights. And LaDarren Williams just stuck to him like glue and shut him down all game long. A big key to that 131-103 win. He's doing it again. 4 steals for LaDarren Williams coming into tonight's game. Garland ball. Out to Shorter at the point. He attacks left. Stops. Tries to get it to Jarvis Bradley underneath. Bradley loses the handle on the ball. Goes off the hand and fingertips of one of the Kings players. Hoyas maintain possession. 4:58 remaining here in the third quarter. Still 49-41. And we got a loose ball foul before the inbound on Jarvis Bradley. Quite the battle going on between Clinton and Bradley. And at this point, it looks like Clinton's getting the better of it. Head coach Paul Parker has a couple of words to say to the officials tonight on that. Your NEBA officials for this game: Cato Armstrong, Kent Booz, Emmanuel Luell. 4:45 remaining here in the third. 49-41. We've been stuck at that score for the last couple of minutes. Smith slowing it down for the Kings. Attacking left, stop and pop. It is no good off the back iron, but they get the rebound. All alone, Clinton can't make it good. Shorter finds LaShawn Murphy. Oh no, tries to go for the fire and cannot make it. That's a regrettable decision. LaShawn Murphy, about a month and a half ago, a signee. They were very excited, and why wouldn't you be, out of the University of Auburn at Montgomery. LaShawn Murphy, the most recent signee, in the offseason at least, for the Garland Hoyas. Head coach Paul Parker calls him rough around the edges, very raw, but extremely talented, has no idea how good he is. Some humbling moments like that, though, can definitely be remedied by something like that. That's how he drew it up. Slamming it down, 51-41 Garland Hoyas, and then he gets the ball back behind the back. No look to Rydell Shorter, making amends for that, LaShawn Murphy. 3:39 with a timeout right now left in the third quarter. San Antonio trying to slow this down a little bit. 53-41 Garland Hoyas. We'll take a brief timeout here from the MLK Center in Dallas, Texas. It is NEBA basketball on the Garland Hoyas Network. Back here with 3:39 remaining here in the third quarter. 53-41 Garland Hoyas over the San Antonio Kings. In the break there, head coach Paul Parker put his arm around LaShawn Murphy. Got to think some more fatherly advice was taking place right there. I know you missed that one, but you did make good on the 2 attempts after that, and in fine fashion, as LaDarren Williams takes it all the way to the house, driving the lane. We've talked about his defensive prowess, but LaDarren Williams right there showing what he can do on the offensive side. LaDarren Williams there on defense, coughs up the turnover there. Rydell Shorter all the way to the basket. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, yeah! Rydell Shorter, who had to change his zip code, he was up in the air so long. 2:57 here left in the third. 57-43, the Hoyas getting some fire back into them. San Antonio changing some things up. Bringing Devin Moore back into the game. He'll inbound the ball. San Antonio, another big test tomorrow against those Austin Knights. They will travel to play them. It'll be their third game on the season, as they fell 107-91 last week to the Memphis Lions. That is the one commonality between these two teams. They both faced Memphis in their first game. Garland Hoyas, 96-91, ended up winning in that first contest against Memphis. And that was a very interesting game. Garland trailed the entire game until really they came out in the third quarter and then back and forth, and then finally got their teeth into it in the fourth quarter, ending up to a narrow 96-91 victory over Memphis. That was a very hard-fought game. They enjoyed themselves and got to dive into their bench depth quite a bit more when they played Austin 2 Fridays ago in that 131-103 blowout. As we're back underway with 2:50 left here in the third quarter, 57-43 Garland Hoyas. Kings right there over to Moore. The double team and the defense is back. Whistle on the play. They're going to call that a foul on the Hoyas. Brett Person picks up the foul. Underneath the big man right there with the stutter step and the travel on Joseph Clifford. Clifford, for his 6'8", 240 frame, extremely nimble, but not nimble enough there to avoid the travel call. 57-43 Hoyas, 2:20 left in the third. LaShawn Murphy underneath the Jarvis Bradley. He is fouled on the way up. And going to shoot 2 from the line. Just saw a little bit ago in the second quarter his streak of perfection from the charity stripe broken. But he keeps that average still in the high 90s. Makes his first of 2. Trying to extend the lead to make it a 16-point advantage for the Hoyas. 59-43. Some schematics worked out by the officials there, and we're back underway here. Over to Clifford. Gets trapped by Bradley. Over to Torres. To Moore, makes the pop stick. 1:58 remaining, 59-44 for the Hoyas. It's over to Person. To Bradley. All alone, LaDarren Williams tries the alley-oop, can't make it go. The best of intentions. And a great effort on the attempt to make the save from it going out of bounds by Rydell Shorter. But alas, ball goes back to San Antonio. A choppy pace here in the third quarter, but it is benefiting the Hoyas. 1:40 remaining. Kickball off of the pretty good soccer move actually by LaShawn Murphy there. 1:36 remaining here in the third quarter, 59-45. Ole, ole, ole. Moore over to Torres. Back to Moore. Along the baseline and the corner, and it'll be Torres short on the three-pointer. Person with the rebound, kicks it back out to Shorter. Shorter driving down to LaShawn Murphy with the alley-oop. Thank you, ma'am. That's how it's supposed to work. Trying to come back. And a bit of a ticky-tack foul there on the call. Jarvis Bradley starting to sniff the land of foul trouble for Jarvis Bradley at this point with 1:02 remaining. 61-45 Hoyas. It'll send Jesus Torres, the 6'1" guard, to the line. Clanks the first one off the front of the rim. Makes a second. And San Antonio will take a timeout here. Try to regroup, try to draw this one a little bit closer as we sit with 1:01 remaining in the third quarter. 61-46. Garland Hoyas on top of the San Antonio Kings. More from Dallas, Texas in the MLK Rec Center. NEBA action coming up on the Garland Hoyas Network. One tick over a minute, 61 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. 61-46, Garland Hoyas lead over the San Antonio Kings as LaShawn Murphy dishes it to Person, kicks it over to Brett Barron. Rydell Shorter in the corner, tries to drive, needs help, looks for Barron, over to LaShawn Murphy from behind the arc, off the front of the rim, no good. Back the other way comes San Antonio on the charge. And a stuff by Brett Person. That one goes out of bounds. It'll still be Kings ball, but quite the defense on Person. 41 seconds remaining here. From the corner, left wide open. Torres can't make it good. And that's Clifford underneath, getting the offensive rebound and the putback. Foul on the play. Brett Person earns a trip to the line. That'll be his first appearance. .26 seconds remaining here in the quarter. 61-48 Hoyas. Brett Person seeing some sizable minutes in today's game. Comes in averaging just over 4 points a game. 50% from the field. Misses his first, makes his second. 13 rebounds, though, coming into this game. And puts him in the top three for the team. 20 seconds even, counting. He goes up. He has nowhere to go with it. Alonzo Butler on the defense. Rydell Shorter loses the handle on the ball, keeps the dribble alive. It goes over to Person, intended or not. Bruce Barron from the wing, and he makes that count from three. And that'll end the quarter, 65-48. Garland Hoyas regain their massive advantage as we go into the final period of play. More NEBA action coming up and final concluding quarter of regulation, we'll put it that way. Garland Hoyas up 65-48 over the San Antonio Kings. More on the way here on Garland Hoyas Broadcast Network.
Hoyas!
And we start off the fourth quarter, San Antonio with the possession. 65-48. Garland Hoyas have pretty much owned this one all game long. Banks that one off the glass. Clinton. 65-50. The Kings drew it within 7 at one point during the game. That was late in the second quarter going into the half as they create the turnover right there. Kicks it over to Torres, to Moore. Guzman along the baseline has nowhere to go. Kicks it back over to Torres. Back to Moore. Driving down the lane, kicks it out from behind three. It is short. That shot has not been there for Torres at all this game. Out of bounds on Bruce Barron. So the Kings get a fresh possession. 9:09 remaining here in the fourth quarter. And we got a timeout from San Antonio. You can follow all of the NEBA action for all of the teams during this winter stretch at the official website of the New Era Basketball Association, officialneba.com. A lot of exciting things happening with this league that is the fastest growing professional sports league on the planet right now. In the course of 3 months leading into the fall, they announced and added 20 new franchises to the NEBA league. Of course, you're seeing right now the winter stretch of this league, and things will get in full for all of the teams coming up in the spring and summer for 2016. But officialneba.com scores, stats, highlights, and many of these same game casts. 8:58 as the whistle blows right now in the fourth quarter. 65-50, Garland Hoyas lead. Kevin Thomas into the game. DeAndre Sanchez back into the game for the Garland Hoyas. Inbounds pass, and that went across the line. Backcourt violation. Giving it right back to the Garland Hoyas. I don't know what Paul Parker is arguing about, but that went your way, Coach. Team's getting their substitutions in order. DeAndre Sanchez walks it along the right side. Looks for Bruce Barron. Kicks it out to Thomas. Wide open from behind three. Just short on the mark. Here comes San Antonio the other way. Torres trying to take it all the way. Can't get it. Great defense by Bruce Barron. Sanchez now taking it up. They got a 3-on-3 right now. He slows it back, turns around. Lonzo Butler there to set up the pick. Bruce Barron from downtown can't make it stick. Back and forth basketball as they're running back and forth across the court quite a bit right now in the last couple of minutes. More short on the shot. 8:08 remaining, 65-50. Garland Hoyas here in the fourth quarter. San Antonio to Guzman on the right wing. Tacks left, spins left. Banks it off the glass. He has had that shot. He's been able to create some things in the paint. DeAndre Sanchez. Heads up play by Bruce Barron as DeAndre Sanchez lost the handle on that. Good defense by the Kings that made that supposed turnover happen, but Bruce Barron got down onto the court. Call a quick timeout for the Garland Hoyas to keep possession. 7:44 remaining here in regulation. 65-52. Garland Hoyas have the advantage. So the questions were coming into this inaugural season of never even being a franchise on the map before for the Garland Hoyas. What would we see? This team, head coach Paul Parker said, was going to be built around fundamentals, team defense, and that's how they were going to create their offense. So far, it has worked according to Paul Parker's plans. We've seen in 2 games so far, all 3, including this one, have been very, very different dynamics. It was scrappy. They had a come from behind win in game 1 against Memphis. They led pretty much the entirely against Austin. In this one against San Antonio, yes, they've had the lead, but they've had to fight for it, as San Antonio has not given in at all. 65-52 right now with 7:34 left in the fourth quarter. Butler right now kicks it over to Blaylock. Off the back iron, Thomas with the rebound. Tries to get it off the backcourt in the shots. Whistle blows. Shooting foul on Guzman for the Kings. That'll send Thomas to the line. Thomas coming into today's game just over 66% on his shots from the free throw line. Can't make the second one stick. Bruce Barron, though, gets the offensive rebound, has nowhere to go and no help to dish it to. And it goes right back to the San Antonio Kings. Punch out by Sanchez. Oh, and a fast break opportunity was in progress for the Garland Hoyas. But a foul was called. Garland will have possession. But that looked dangerous for a second. Whew. I'd have fouled too. Inbounds pass to Sanchez. Bruce Barron kicks it over to Butler. Fade away shot. Nothing but net. That didn't even kiss the rim. That was pretty. 68-52. Just under 7 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. San Antonio trying to claw their way back into this one. Sanchez, some great defense. All ball on that. San Antonio will remain in possession of the ball. Smith kicks it over to Guzman. Guzman from the wing. All the way across court. Drives along the baseline. Stuffed by Bruce Barron. Bruce Barron standing tall at 6'7". Towers over most of the guards that he sizes up against. Also can play some of that small forward position for the team. Bruce Barron right there trying on a fast break. And he earns the foul. Foul on Guzman. Great effort by Barron there. He goes to the line. Excellent free throw shooter as well. In fact, it was only in the second quarter that he missed his first of the season. Won't miss another one there. Bruce Barron, the point guard out of the University of Oregon. Certainly knows a run and gun style of offense. 70-52 right now. 18-point advantage for the Hoyas. 6:23 clicking in the fourth quarter. Smith underneath the Guzman takes the shot. No good. Thomas fighting for the rebound along the baseline. He's rolling. Timeout called. And that'll keep the ball in the Garland Hoyas' possession. 6:12 remaining here in the fourth. 70-52. They may be the youngest team on paper with 9 rookies, but that says a lot about how they're playing early in this season, says head coach Paul Parker. They're young, but they're extremely talented, and they can't be tired out, as he liked to say. They also have extreme depth on their bench, 15 players on their roster. In fact, right now, no starters for the Hoyas. No members of the starting 5 are currently on the floor right now, and they've extended this lead to 18. Sounds like the gym class in my elementary school with all the sneakers right there trying to clean a wet spot on the court. We're back underway with 6:10 and counting. 70-52 Garland Hoyas. Elbow thrown on, that's going to be against the Kings. It's going to give the ball right back to the Garland Hoyas. The next home game that the Garland Hoyas will play here in North Texas will be against the San Antonio Kings once again, but it will not be until January 23rd. The Garland Hoyas is actually going to be hitting the road. Their next games are going to come against the Austin Knights. That's going to be after the holiday break, Saturday, January 2nd, down in Austin. And then they will take on the Houston Experience. A lot of buzz about the Experience going into this season. That'll be quite the test for the Garland Hoyas. And we got a technical right there called. The coach of the San Antonio Kings. And not only is he a coach, he's the owner. I've never seen an owner get ejected from a game before, but you just did right there. 5:26. Oh my gosh, we're playing basketball. 5:23 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 72-52. Garland Hoyas with the lead. As they try to finish that out, Guzman from long range does not make it stick. Lasanta with the rebound. Bruce Barron dishes it over to Kevin Thomas. Right now to Blaylock. Back to Barron. Barron from three makes it stick with the trace. Bruce Barron. 4:56 remaining. 75-52. Garland Hoyas here with a stoppage in play. And we're going to dig a little deeper into some of the bench players here. Very cool to see some minutes being earned. Brand new to the roster as of this week, seeing his first playing time of this season. Number 10, Scott Pizer, guard, out of TCU. He's wearing the number 10 right there. Also into the game, Brett Person, Rydell Shorter back in, and so is LaShawn Murphy. San Antonio with the ball, drives the lane, in the paint, floats it in, nice shot, Torres. Rydell Shorter right now. Double team, dishes it to Person. All alone, pass a little off the mark for LaShawn Murphy. Pizer underneath, can't make it stick. Rebound by Person. Tries the fadeaway off the back glass. Finds it short under the rim. San Antonio marching back. Smith from the right wing. Tosses it over to the left wing. 4:12 remaining here in the fourth. 75-54 Garland Hoyas. Long range air ball. Trying to save it. Knocks it off his own player, and that'll be Garland ball. 4:05 remaining here in regulation. Still trying to be fair and calling it regulation, not the game. You never know. San Antonio in their last game against Memphis was down 30 at one point, and they rallied late. Didn't get the win. Into the game for the Garland Hoyas, number 8, Trey Fountain, out of Oklahoma Wesleyan University. Calls Garland his home. And he'll come in for LaShawn Murphy. Paul Parker loves to be able to use his bench all the way to its depths late in the game. Fresh legs. 3:44 after the San Antonio miss left here in the fourth quarter, 75-54. And that one's good. 77-54, 3:32 remaining here in regulation. It's going to be out of bounds. Garland ball. Rydell Shorter with the inbounds. Tomorrow, San Antonio going to have another tough opponent in those Austin Knights. Austin Knights sitting right now at 1-1 on the season. Garland looks to remain the only undefeated team in the NEBA League during this winter stretch. Memphis Lions at 1-2 on the season. And San Antonio at 0-1. Coming in for Brett Person, the Frenchman, Ousmane Ndiaye. 6'11" out of Jeanne d'Arc, France, which if you're playing at home, and I took 2 minutes of French in high school, it stands for Joan of Arc. Ndiaye goes for the rebound, goes off his fingertips, can't maintain possession. It's going to be San Antonio ball. 3:11 remaining here, 79-54 in the fourth. Torres drives to the basket, gets the bucket. 79-56. Goes to Pizer. Over to Rydell Shorter. From behind the arc. Shorter in and out. Oh, that just teases me. San Antonio comes back the other way. Over to Moore. Stop and pop. That's been his MO this game, and he makes that one stick. Connor, long pass to Rydell Shorter. It's a one-on-one stutter step. Beautiful. Using the back glass, and he lays it in. 2:36 left in the fourth. 81-58. Garland Hoyas now just running away. Air ball shot up by Moore. Pizer with the rebound. Shorter behind the back. No look. Trevor Connor. That's the Menster. Hanging on the rim. It garners a tee. Technical foul called, but the basket was good. I don't condone technical foul behavior, but I do like stuff that's fun. I don't know if he's going to get reprimanded too hard by head coach Paul Parker for that, but he was just worried about coming down on somebody underneath him. I mean, really, it's safety first. Why else would you hang on the rim? Makes the technical. 2:19 remaining here in the fourth quarter. And they'll inbound it from the far baseline. 83-59, Garland Hoyas. Playing out the string here, looking to go to 3-0. Trevor Connor has shown some pretty intense moments in the 3 games so far this season. A couple of times he went up on blocks and just did all ball, just gripping it like a running back in the NFL. But that's the first time we've seen him get some kicks up high, and certainly made that count. 2 minutes even left here in the fourth quarter. 83-59 Garland Hoyas as the San Antonio Kings. Guzman from behind the arc makes that one stick. 83-62, 150 remaining. Pizer taking it up. Gets it to the Frenchman. Ndaye. Underneath Melvin Allen, who has the team lead coming into this game in field goal percentage, shooting over 72%, over 85% from behind the arc coming into this game. So it was a little odd to see him down in the post. Of course, he is like 6'7". 122 remaining. 85-64, 21-point advantage. Smith on the foul. That'll spend, still short of the bonus. Correction, it does put the... Well, it did get a little close there late into the first half for the Garland Hoyas. The Kings chopped the lead down to roughly about 6 at one point. But since then, it has been the Garland Hoya track meet. And they have just pulled away. Adding one more point to that as Fountain makes his first. And he makes a second. 86-64. Garland Hoya's massive lead with 1:10 remaining here in regulation. Guzman driving hard to the lane. Connor picks up the foul with 1:06 remaining here in the fourth. Well, it looks like they're going to go from the unknown Garland Hoyas to the unbeaten Garland Hoyas. 3-0 on the season as they will head out on the road. Upcoming games, again, taking a break for the holidays. Back after the new year, right after the new year, Saturday, January 2nd, going to take on the Austin Knights down in the Texas Capitol. Then they'll travel over to Houston to take on the Houston Experience, which have yet to start up their portion of the winter season. They have a former NBAer on their squad. That'll be a tough test. Melvin Allen driving. Earns the foul as we have even 60 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter with Melvin Allen going to the line. Up into this game, Melvin Allen has not been to the charity stripe. But the shooter that leads the team in field goal percentage and three-point percentage out of East Texas Baptist University, showing he can get it done from there too. 88-66, less than a minute here ticking. It's been quite a game for the Hoyas. It's a stuff. There's that all ball, Trevor Connor. Pizer with the rebound. Melvin Allen, fadeaway three. Rolls it off the side of the rim. No good. 40 seconds at ticking here in the fourth. Stop and pop. No good. And the foul called on Ousmane Ndiaye. One of the foreign players, the Euros, as people like to call them, in NEBA. It's been interesting since the NEBA League started. 24 international contracts have been awarded to NEBA players. And 4 players have went on to D-Leagues for NBA franchises. That is the mission of NEBA, to showcase talent. As we have seen today from the Garland Hoyas. 20 seconds remaining as they get the ball back. The TCU guard, Pizer, alley-oops it up for Trevor Connor, who cannot make it stick. A 3-on-1 right now against Melvin Allen. Guzman sinks it in. 5 seconds of ticking, 88-70. As the buzzer expires, it's off the rim, no good. That is our final today from the MLK Center here in Dallas, Texas. The Garland Hoyas moved to 3-0 on the season, 88-70, as the San Antonio Kings fall to 0-2 on the season. Thank you so much, however you took on today's game and enjoyed today's NEBA action, whether it's at officialneba.com, garlandhoyas.com, at NETV, Netflix, or of course, on YouTube. You can catch this and many other exciting games in the NEBA League right here. My name is Ken Buckner. Thank you so much for being a part of today's game. Ben Quanex working the video, doing a great job and doing all the technical maintenance as far as the videography is concerned. That'll do it for us today. Appreciate you. We'll get you back here soon when the Garland Hoyas go on the road against the Austin Knights after the new year. Have a happy holidays. From the MLK Center, it is a Garland Hoyas win today. I'm Ken Buckner on the Garland Hoyas Broadcast Network.